everybody? My name's Dio Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast. We're coming to you live from the XTC on GSP. Looking forward to this match. We have Team France versus Team Mexico. I'm going to break down the list. It is just me here today, but that's okay. It's you and me hanging out on a beautiful Saturday morning, and we're going to do some fun stuff after this game as well. But first, let me go ahead, prepare that Choose Your Champion. You know how to play. Instructions will be right below on the bottom of the screen. There it is. If you're watching on YouTube, put it in the comments right now. Who do you think's got this? Steve of France or Gil out of Mexico? So, looking at these lists, Steve Cossec has brought 5 Jedi Knights with calibrated laser targeting. This is a little bit of a surprise, to be completely honest. You know, we've seen, because this is an extended event, you would think maybe people would take take the 7B. No, Steve doubling down, saying, you know what, I got 5 ships. I'm gonna get things in the bullseye. I'm gonna get that additional damage for cheaper value there with that CLT. Gil Navarro bringing, a absolute monster of a ship in Rey. Rey's got Corsella, Rose, Finn, false transponders, stealth device, and Rey Millennium's Falcon. So this is a pretty usual Rey build out, with the exception being that he's got that stealth device on the Millennium Falcon. So stealth device there, adding the additional agility, and with the defensiveness that Rey has, in most matchups you could probably get a couple extra health out of her with that stealth device. So even if you end up saving 1 to 2 hull along the way, you've paid for its points on that stealth device, as stealth device does scale by in points by the amount of agility you have. And the Falcon, it's only got 1. So you got 1 plus the Finn die plus the stealth device. I mean, you are basically a 3 agility ship, kind of. All right, then we got Tally in the A-Wing with Heroic, Predator, and Proton Rockets, an absolute staple on those A-Wings. Get it in the bullseye, smack it up with 5 dice. It's going to hurt. Hopefully. I mean, if that's just, of course, if you are flying the Proton Rockets. We have seen some sad Proton Rockets. Then ZZ is built out similar, but not quite the same way. We got Heroic, Cluster Missiles, and Advanced Optics. So Cluster Missiles is a missile that we honestly don't see too often. It's, after you shoot it, you have the ability to go ahead and let me bring it up on the. I want to make sure I read it correctly here. Cluster missile. Yeah. So after you fire, it's a three die missile, and after you hit. All right, after your attack hits, you can choose to fire at somebody else who's in that attack arc as well with the 3 dice after spending the charge. You don't have to have a lock on them. So it's an unmodified shot, but it's ZZ, so it probably is modified, right? She's able to get that focus after performing an attack. And, of course, Advanced Optics, most of us know what that does. Spend the focus in order to turn a blank result while attacking to a hit result. So right now, if you have not chosen your champion, go ahead, get it done so that we could see where you guys are at right now going into this match. Now, looking at this, we know that Rey is an absolute powerhouse offensively. In this matchup, I am a little bit worried for her, though. The stealth device can definitely help the longevity of the ship as they go along, but if Steve can get all 5 of those arcs on Rey in a single turn, it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough to see Rey ending up being able to evade all those shots. Now, of course, Rey is at a higher initiative, so she's going to have the ability to boost, get that reposition after seeing where these Jedi Knights go. Though, if Steve has anything to say about it, Steve's going to, get those ships in the way, try to get some blocking position. You try to hold Rey into a certain spot and then take advantage with the other 4 ships. Of course, Gil, on his side, he's got those 2 A-Wings running interference. I find the approach interesting. So you saw that, right? Gil started in that top right corner. The A-Wings in the front. Looks like, you know, since they're all initiative 5, he has that flexibility to be able to move them in any order right now. Now, looking at our Choose Your Champion poll, currently leading is, I mean, it's by a single vote. We got Gil, Team Mexico, leading by 1 vote. So not a conclusive, you know, voting there between our audience right now. Man, you know, this is my prediction. Okay, here's my prediction. I think if Gil can use those A-Wings, if those A-Wings can stay alive through killing one of the Jedi Knights, and they come out clean in there, I think it starts to swing Gil's way. Just because, you know, having that 4-on-3 is definitely a lot easier than 5-on-3. He's got the initiative advantage, but he's got he's got to initiative kill one of them, I think, before that initial engagement. If he loses a ship while all 5 are alive, and even though it would be early in the game, I think it's going to swing Steve's way. But we got a lot of game to go. We got 68 minutes and change. Let's go. It looks like most people are excited to see, you know, 5 CLT Jedi out there. And you can see both these guys. They're being a little bit cagey. They really haven't left Gil is literally still inside that range 1 majority, range 1 band on his side of the board. Steve, slow approach right now. You know, it's anywhere between range 2 and range 2.5 on their side of the board as well. And here we go, getting a little bit more of an aggressive approach. You see that the pink Jedi Knight barrel rolling. One of the things that we do like to see when we have you know, experienced players playing is they try to keep open a lot of options on the maneuvers, which is what these barrel rolls are doing right now. You're creating lanes. You still have options to go to the left. Look at blue right now. Blue's in the center. Has that lane available next to the bacon cloud to go, can still bank to the right if he thinks that's the way to go, but can also go to the left, you know, for protection. On Gil's side, we see a little bit of a change in formation. We see Tally. Tally is the one with the red base. All right, don't get confused. I know ZZ is usually the red ship. But today we got ZZ in the yellow-based ship with the red cockpit, and Tally is the other one. So yeah, look at that change there. You see why would he be doing that? So Tally's leading the way right now. Maybe it's a priority of trying to get that proton rocket off. I guess another strategy that Gil does have available to him is with Tally's ability, being able to line up that bullseye on somebody else and giving Rey an additional defense dice, could end up pushing that Rey Millennium Falcon for that, you know, single turn up to 4 agility dice being utilized on defense. Can be pretty solid. We got about 5 seconds left in voting. If you have not gotten in your Choose Your Champion voting, maybe I'll leave it open for a little bit longer. I'll have maybe a little manual opening. Anybody else need to vote? Let me know. The betting has auto-closed. Would you like me to reopen it? I can do it for probably about 1 more turn. I know you guys like to see your positioning and make a late decision, but sometimes you guys get left out in the cold right after that betting closes. So I can go ahead and open it just a smidge for you. There it is. Opened it just for a little bit. I saw a couple of bets come in after the voting had closed. There we go. I see we have a couple of appreciative folks saying, "Oh, the betting reopened." I'm gonna close it again here in a little bit. I'll close it randomly. All right, you gotta get that vote in if you have not. Gotta love the Luke and Leia force charges there on the side of Team Mexico. If you guys see those little coins. Alrighty. And the betting will be closed here in a minute or so. Welcome to everybody who's on the channel, by the way. I am the host of Gold Squadron Podcast. If you're not following us on Instagram, I would suggest doing that. We are, and YouTube, we are launching July 27th, Gold Squadron Paint Wars. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we dropped a 20-second trailer the other day. Go ahead, check that out on our YouTube channel. Anybody see that? We get anybody in the chat who saw the Paint Wars trailer? All right, and we see some aggression here out of Steve. He saw the speed that Gil put in that last turn, now holding that middle position. Soulbound says Pink Wars. No, Paint Wars. Paint Wars. It's gonna be great. Though if you paint your ship pink, that's fine. Okay, so blue, little less committed. Hard turn, barrel roll away. Looks like he wants to set up blue for a flank. All right. So it looks like the strategy here is Steve's identified, okay, you want to come in this direction. I'm going to take my maneuverable ships that have options in maneuverability and not do it. Le Pirate Bonieri says AMG stole Dion's idea and put out a painting contest as well. I mean, they literally announced it a couple days after I did. Not cool. Not cool. See, here's my thing though. Like, I mean, cool. AMG, that's cool. I really didn't have any hard feelings because it's different, right? Like, we're putting on a reality TV show, essentially, is what it is about painting. And no offense to anybody who participates in like the online ones, but the reason why we decided to go with this route with Paint Wars is we wanted new repaints and we wanted a way to prove that people actually did them. We've seen definitely, you know, we've seen posts where somebody's like, "Oh, let's see your cool repaints," and people are posting other people's stuff, right? Like, how do you confirm that it was yours? You know, it ends up having to be a thing of honor. It's like, you know what? Let's take the doubt out of it and say, hey, let's just do this. Let's actually commission people to do brand new ships that we are they're guaranteed brand new and done by that person. So it is something new, and we're creating something brand new. You know, something brand new. New art being created, and that's art of art with our show. Like, I'm pumped about it. So you saw ZZ coming in, banking, thinking maybe that those Jedi Knights were going to come through the middle of that board. Steve playing a bit of a cat and mouse game. I like it. I like it. You're going to see that yellow Jedi Knight turn around that cloud most likely. Though Tally does have a way to respond to that. He's got to watch out for the Procket. We'll see what happens here. There is definitely a possibility for a kill box on ZZ. Though I'm not looking at the way Steve is playing, it doesn't seem like he would be turning in the pink, green, and blue Jedi Knights this turn. Could be wrong, though. Just Gil's got to be careful not to overextend that A-wing. Now Rey's pretty committed, though. Of course, with that Rey's Millennium Falcon title, you have the option to sloop while stressed, boost while stressed, or rotate that arc while stressed. You can do all those things while stressed, up to if you have up to 2 stress. Once you gain that 3rd stress, you cannot do that anymore, but you can gain that 3rd one. A lot of people think that you can't, but really what helps is Corcella, of course, right? Corcella has that ability to, after you execute a blue maneuver, you don't just take off 1 stress token, you take off all the stress tokens. So there is some shenanigans here. If you have any newer players who haven't, or just people who haven't seen this interaction, if Rey in the Falcon that has Corcella equipped executes a blue maneuver through the debris clouds, she ends without stress. So one thing that we like to press here is, what do the different obstacles actually do? A lot of people assume that every obstacle takes away your action, and it's not entirely true. The debris simply gives you stress, right? And what stops you from doing an action after hitting a debris cloud is not the cloud itself, but it is the stress that gives it to you. So if you have a way to get rid of the stress, before the perform action step, you can go ahead and just do an action. So Rey executes a 3, or not necessarily a 3, but a blue maneuver onto the debris cloud or through the debris cloud. Corcella triggers, removes the stress after the after the step where you gain stress, and then they're gone, and then Rey's like, hey, let's take this action. Boom. That is one of the really powerful tools that Rey has. We'll see if Gil ends up utilizing it today. Now here we go. Team France starting to create a bit of a box, favoring that top 1/3 of the board. You see yellow, red, and blue all have arcs pointing in that direction, where maybe he's thinking Tally might end up. Now, I'm really curious about pink. I don't think pink will end up hard wanting to the right. That seems like a bad idea, and does not 4 straight get out of that pocket. Rey in that Millennium Falcon is fast. He has a boost. Can end up getting on you real quick. And you do not want to be facing backwards with Rey chasing you and just taking shots into your flank over and over again. No one sloops like Rey. Stress boosts like Rey. Stress rotates their arc one. A foe like Rey stressed. Sorry, I think I placed the words on the wrong on the wrong beats for that. I'm sorry, I tried. No one sloops like Rey. I typed it wrong, but I appreciate the attempt. You're welcome. All right, so we did see ZZ commit to the right side, currently sitting in the yellow CLT bullseye, and of course able to get shot by Red. So that's 2 shots right now on ZZ. I think ZZ identified the possible kill box between the debris and the gas cloud, but you know, there's still going to be some shots going down this turn onto ZZ. Has options to do some barrel rolling and boosting all over the place. Remember that action order does matter for those A-wings. So it looks like ZZ's just going to choose to take a focus, not doing any stressful shenanigans. And there is the hard turn from Tally. Tally did it too hard. Currently doesn't have anything in the bullseye. Focus, going to probably attempt a boost to the left. Is that bullseye on? That is something we got to check out here real quick. And yes, it is. So expect some procket action coming for ZZ in a minute. Excuse me, for Tally in a minute. But here is ZZ taking a range 2 shot on that Jedi Knight. Here's a shot. Here we go. And same result. Focus blank. Likely not going to spend there, and probably just scoop up and evade or an additional focus. There's the evade. Evade focus on ZZ. Here's the procket. Here it comes. 5 dice. I mean, even if ZZ had that shot to help out Tally on that yellow Jedi Knight, wouldn't have come up with much. We got a 5 dice shot. Procket coming in single modified. I'm waiting for him to roll. Here we go. And you got hit, crit, crit. Spend the focus. Make it 5. Is he willing? I mean, this is, you pay for prockets for the 5 hits. Spends the focus. And there we go. We got 5. 3 focuses thrown out there. Spend it. 2 coming in. That is a shield and a card coming through. Isn't that too much? 5 minus 3 is 2. And oh, was it a direct hit? It was a direct hit. That's what it was. Got it. So direct hit on that critical damage. All right, and this shot ends up evaded by the A-Wing easily. As the shots continue, probably going into Tally now. There's no reason to shoot a focus evade ZZ. Here we go. This one is CLT. Spends a focus for hit crit. And ZZ is going to take a shield. Early damage on the A-Wings. Here's another shot. Continuing into Tally, it is not obstructed, just barely going into Tally. And that's 1 hit only. Probably not going to get that shield outside of a complete blank out. And not today. This is a CLT shot into ZZ, but I think you probably want to just take that range 1 into Tally. That seems better. Not a guaranteed focus. But you already got a shield down, and there's no mods there. But I guess Tally does have her ability, though, for that 4th defense die. But again, it's going to be really difficult to push through focus evade. So the extra die is actually worse than focus and evade on 3 agility. Got 2 hits, and not going to get it that time. We'll see if the other ships have something. It looks like Green Jedi Knight. Might have, maybe they shot and we just missed it. Okay. So after that engagement, we got a couple damage on Steve, half points, and Gil only taking a single shield. Now after that burst damage from Tally, mind you, you know, you got that procket, 5 dice, big boom, and after that, Tally's offense can be a little bit lackluster. You know, you pay for that big punch. You got 2, well 3 because you got the direct hit, which is great. But you were not able to clear off, you know, the damage that you really want. So you got this Jedi Knight sitting at a single hull, 1 hull, Dion, not 2, 1. Well, it's sitting at 1 hull. You have a good chance of possibly initiative killing it next turn, but you can't lose anything next turn. You gotta hold on to that onto both those A-wings' life. Oh, gotta love correcting the overlay before the chat tells me I was wrong. The future overlord. So with that yellow Jedi Knight down to 1 hull, I mean, the A-wings do have arcs that can end up shooting towards the back, so it's going to be hard to be completely safe, but you probably want to at least try to use it as a blocker. Now, one of the things you got to watch out for is you got to make sure that when you have this weak ship, if you're going to use it as a blocker, make sure that you're not getting yourself tangled up too. That is a common mistake that can show up when you're flying so many ships and you're trying to use one as a blocker. If you accidentally end up in a situation where you block your own ships as well and you didn't mean to, could end up being a bad day for you, especially if you are the lower initiative ship. So we'll end up finding out. Remember, ZZ, you know, can be blocked, but is likely to end up with a mod if there is anybody in their arc at all. All right, anybody in the chat at all. Now, I know one thing you guys really enjoy is when we try the guess maneuvers here. So let's see what do we have here. Now, Rey is going to be coming in from that left side. She's got a huge lane between those 2 obstacles right there. So no diggity, no doubt, baby. She is coming through, ready to swing the hammer. So you can't, like, if you're Steve, you can't commit too much to that pocket. You know, I think some people would be tempted to just kind of rush into that center spot. But the problem is that these A-wings are fast, right? They can fly past that situation. So I think you either have to plan for the A-wings to fly past you, using those back arcs to be able to spin around, and maybe the call here is to prepare for Rey. All right, maybe you should prepare for Rey. Maybe take yellow, end up doing something like a 3 bank to its left, our visual right. And start maybe getting on Rey's flank. You know, she can shoot from the back as well, but she's primarily going to be locked to firing out that front arc. So she's got multiple shots. Then she's going to be firing out the front because that's where all the fancy mods are. Of course, if you got a weakened ship back there, you can end up baiting a shot, which that's a strategy as well, right? You know, if you don't want Rey focusing on your other ships, you could end up offering this other one as a tasty choice. It still has 3 agility. It can still end up dodging some things, and I'm sure Steve would love to see that tyranny of 3 agility show up. But we'll have to wait and see. By the way, shout out! Look at these Team France Aether sprites. Let's go ahead and take a peek there. We'll flip over to the Patreon cam so that we can see. By the way, patrons who were patrons in through June into July, this is that set that you're going to be getting, that Alphabet Squadron. I haven't updated this graphic yet. Next one's going to be Shadow Squadron. So shout out to everybody. Take a look at that. That looks great. That looks absolutely fantastic. So looking hot. Looking hot. I see Epionic likes his TTS painted ships, so sure appreciate taking a look at that. All 5 of them have that, and they're painted like the base. So they have that little bit of yellow, a little bit of red, etc., etc. Yeah, but the tricolor there is fantastic. The red, white, and blue. I mean, I'm a fan of red, white, and blue, as you might know. Actually, Team France made fun of our Team USA shirts last XTC in person, the 2019 one, because I had a red, white, and blue stripe across the front, and they're like, "Oh, you're from Team France, ha ha ha," but you know, more French. It was a good laugh. So I made sure this year the Team USA shirts are very much United States. Cannot be, no denying. Giant star on the front, 13 stripes. If you get the tank top, there's 50 stars in the back. Like, come on. Oh, shout out to Major Duties 2 for the bits. Thank you so much, my friend. Azagol, hello, hello. Darkweed say, I saw the Paint Wars announcement. Haven't watched it yet. Should have some time this weekend. I mean, it's 20 seconds, fam. Watch it right now. Go to YouTube. It's a 20-second video. I could even pull it up. And bumps there with the 5 straight. I think Steve was hoping to get over the hump there. That can end up being the death of that Jedi Knight. You really wanted a token there. You got a single force, but it's not better than a focus. It's just the truth. And here we go. Got that blue Jedi Knight going here. Probably thinking about boosting. Grabbing a focus. I mean, if you boost, you're guaranteed to get that focus on. Rey is going to pop you in the face. Like, it is coming. Oh, he's there's, you could see the flip-flop from Team France right there, trying to figure out what you got. But I mean, if you're gonna be in Rey's arc, okay, he's gonna. Okay, I could see maybe the reason why the hesitation happened with green coming in there is whether or not that would end up blocking up green from taking its focus. So being a little bit safe there, maybe the call would have been to do green first. You can, because now you see it. You can obviously see that boost fits. Green first and then blue. But hindsight's 20/20, right? ZZ 5 straights, expecting some blocks out there. You could see that he was expecting some blocks to be thrown. It looks like ZZ's going to be free to barrel roll, rotate those RZ2A wings, able to use that refined gyro stabilizer. You can rotate your turret indicator only to the front and back, but after you perform an action, you may perform a red boost or a red rotate action. Sounds solid. And you can see right there, Tally as well, expecting, this is what we talked about. I expected a hard disengage with the A-Wings because they can shoot from the back. There's no reason for them to hang out. So that's why I didn't think that was a great idea to try to go throwing blocks at those A-Wings, because they don't have to respect them. They don't respect the authority of blocking. Unless you're committing a lot of resources to blocking those A-Wings, which if you are, I mean, there's a good chance that that you may have overcommitted to those A-Wings. All right, Rey, one bank as expected, has a bunch of targets. Bunches of targets. So, I mean, at this point, you basically decide on what your target is, and you go from there. Gonna start with some target lock shenanigans. And here is a target lock. All right, here it was like a random focus that got thrown out there. Okay, so we got a target lock on green out there. That activates the false transponder code. You just been jammed. Takes away the focus. And we are going to start activation. You see Tally, the farthest ship out of the engagement, taking the shot first. You got a single focus. I guess you spend. Nobody can shoot you. You go Tally for one. You just hope and dream. Hey! You force the focus expenditure, or you get a free shield. What's the right choice here? Yeah. I'm not surprised that we saw Steve spend... It's essentially spending the shield for an opportunity to have a modded shot into Ray, though that distance is a little bit long. And looking at ZZ's arc, there's a chance that he may have just spent that shield for nothing. There's a chance there. Here's a range 1 shot out of ZZ going into the blue Jedi Knight. Hit, crit. Good unmodified roll. And probably just spends the force here, but you are still taking 1. And that's going to be a shield on the blue Jedi Knight. So damage getting spread around just a little bit. But there's 5 ships out there. You need to take them all out eventually, right? Does that check out? Here we go. 3-dice shot going into the green Jedi Knight. You got hit crit. Add the blank with Finn. Here comes the target lock expenditure. Here we go. And you end up with another blank with a hit, but you use Ray's ability, spend 1 force. You got 4. 3 hits and a crit. That is a great roll. A great roll by the green Jedi Knight. Spends the focus, spends the force. And takes only a single shield. That could have been way worse. Oh my goodness. Okay. Right there. If Steve can get some real damage into Ray right now, especially that she committed to spending a force during offense this turn, it could end up really swinging the game Steve's way. Let's find out what we end up getting. Blank evade. Sorry, I read the random defense I had been rolled. 2 hits out there on the from the yellow, and Ray can use their ability right now. No, they cannot. Not in the front arc. And stealth device broken. You didn't get anything out of stealth device. Oh, that hurts. So Steve smartly taking the shot that is outside of Ray's front arc. That's going to be tough to come back from. You really were hoping to get at least 1 to 2 extra health out of that stealth device. Not going to get anything. Hit crit. And there's Ray spending the force. Going to use the Finn ability to scoop up a target lock on pink. Smartly saving that for one of the farther out Jedi Knights that you probably have a shot on next turn. One crit. Here we go. We got a range 2 shot here. I believe that force was spent on defense. I think they're figuring that out right now. Otherwise, he needs to take a critical damage on the green Jedi Knight. Okay, yep, there you go. So the force was spent on defense, so just one hit. Rey still taking one. 3 shields are down. And that Jedi Knight was in range. Here we go. We got a bullseye shot. 1 hit. Spends a focus for 3. And here we go, the 2 agility dice from range 3. And Rey's going to be taking some more damage. Was able to get 1. A good opening for Steve here. Good opening. Able to... hasn't scored any points, but getting Rey very close to half. You got a shield already on Tally, and you traded that, for mostly shields. Mostly shields out there. We're going to go ahead and just double check our overlay here. 1 shield down on red. Yellow down to 1 health. Yes, 1 shield down on green. Shield down here. Pink is the only clean one. Now, somebody had asked about what action had green take. So green had taken a focus action, but then was target locked by Rey. Those false transponder codes ended up going off. If you're not familiar with false transponder codes, it is a very common card right now in the meta, especially it's priced to sell. Single charge after you acquire a lock on an object, or an object acquires a lock on you. If you have 1 active charge, lose 1 charge and jam that object, ignoring range restrictions. One kind of errata to that, by the way, is objects. In the case of false transponder, you cannot jam obstacles. Just a note. Even though they are an object, because they're not jammable, they can't hold tokens. It has been ruled that it doesn't work that way. So just if it ever comes up, didn't matter in this one. Just a little factoid for you. A little factoid. Now, Raven Cat arguing with me in the chat. Let's see what you got. Let's see. Raven Cat says, you can't say you got nothing out of it because she rolled 1 extra and got 1 evade. Quite possibly the stealth device die. Without it, it could have been a damage. So I'd say stealth got you 1 health there. I mean... Okay, I will re-amend my statement to make myself correct then. I will say that you don't know if it got you anything. All right, it didn't completely block any shots. So, yes, you did have an extra die in there, thus increasing your opportunity to roll and evade. And that die could have been the stealth device die. All right. Now, let's take a look at some of the maneuvers here. What do we got going? What options does Rey have? I mean, she's in a little bit of trouble. All 5 of those Jedi Knights have options on her. What would they want to do? I know in situations like this, a lot of people go, "I'm Rey. Just be crazy. It's time to be crazy." Now, Rey, remember, Rey can boost with stress. So we might end up seeing an escape route that she does possibly have is, if it's not blocked, option 1 would be 2 banking onto the debris. All right, 2 banking onto the debris and then boosting away. If you think that is not going to make it, you hard turn to the left. You hard turn to the left and then boost away. Now, you could also just hard turn to the left, and that way you actually have a shot. The boost might be dependent on if there are any other shots on you. I do expect the blue Jedi Knight to cover that escape, though. I would expect a one bank that way, pink and green likely coming in, yellow on the side, just kind of banking where you would expect them to go, and then that blue Jedi Knight just kind of banking that way, saying, you know what, there's a good chance that Rey tries to take that debris as an exit point because she can get rid of all those stress at once at some point future in the game. You got to cover that. I think if all the Jedi Knights end up kind of converging into the center of those three obstacles, it would be a mistake. I think at least one of them needs to cover that escape route. Shout out to NW Vader for gifting 5 subs. Thank you so much on this beautiful Saturday morning. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys for a little bit longer today, of course. We got 30 minutes left in this game, but after this game, we're going to do some Hot or Not Scum Edition. If you guys remember those videos I released about a year ago at this point, people were like, oh, are you going to continue this? I was like, yeah, and then life got in the way. So I said, you know what? We have a ton of games on record. We have games currently scheduled on our YouTube channel until like the end of July, essentially. So we're good. We're good on YouTube content. So let's go ahead and get some of that other, take some time that I normally would be streaming, and let's get some content that can, be a little bit different. And we'll have some fun together. You guys can help me out get that done. It should be fun. I'm excited about it. And we're going to be doing it a little bit different as well. We have a couple of different options. We have, just like putting things in tiers, but I also have a matrix that I kind of want to do. You'll see. It'll make more sense when we get there. But let's go ahead. Let's get back into this game. We have these 5 ships bearing down on Rey. The A-Wing's going away. Tally's in a bad spot. Tally is not available to help. And this was, this is a good play by Steve. And we talked about it before. So people were I didn't agree with some of our fam in the chat who kind of wanted a little bit of an overcommitment to the A-Wings. It was definitely the right call to face out on Rey. Now, ZZ can end up trying to be a little bit more relevant by using that back arc, but we'll end up seeing here. And this is what we're expecting. Yellow covering the gap. Nice and simple. One bank. I think you just focus, fam. Is he getting greedy? Is he thinking about target locking? There's a focus. And a 5. Okay. The sloop here. The sloop here by the blue Jedi Knight is interesting. 5K. And pink, I'm guessing just 1 banks then. You're kind of trying to create that little box. Yep. We'll see if this ends up working out. There's some strange distance things going on. Rey can still escape this. You got all 5 arcs pointed that way. Takes a strain on the red Jedi Knight. And ZZ trying to become relevant again, turning around. This is the weak turn for A-Wings. Is that turn where that back arc is no longer relevant, and you have to choose to hard turn and bring those A-Wings back around. Now, they have good time on target when they're being chased and when that back arc is in range. As soon as you start flying away, you're going to have to make a decision on when to turn it around. What do we get here from Rey? I'm really curious. So I wasn't expecting this set of moves from Steve, but I like the play. Steve has a lot of stuff covered, and there's what I expected. Hard turn to the left onto the debris. Currently has 4 out of the 5 arcs on them. Rolled a crit on the oh, no, so just placed it. Oh, no, rolled it. And that's going to be a critical damage. And that's a direct hit. Debris MVP. I mean, you take those risks with Ray because you don't expect to roll that. You got half points off of that debris cloud. That's going to hurt. Debating boosting right now. You could see the debate going there from Gil. This is tough. That's going to be hard to come back from. Giving up half points there, 50-20. That cloud looking like a Team France MVP. Or at least a Team Mexico trader. I'm pretty sure that's Gil's debris, by the way. You bring debris when you fly the Ray. Takes a boost. Able to get a little bit extra range out of, maybe possibly out of range. Well, yeah, you can see the green is no longer in range. You got a couple of shots that you're avoiding. Maybe only taking 2. Going range 2 into the blue Jedi Knight. 2 hits. It's going to be obstructed, so it'll be 4. And you are going to get one. Yep, didn't get any evades, so you're gonna get a damage. I'm assuming that's a force expenditure. Can't shoot, so it's not a huge deal. But you did get half points there. Ooh. Yep, that's just barely in range. Grabbing that corner from the yellow Jedi Knight. 2 hits. Excuse me, 2 dice. Didn't get anything. Blanks. Oh, I didn't think that one was going to be in range. The angle is just perfect. In range by a pixel. It is obstructed. But the bullseye does not seem to be on. 1 hit. Spends a force for 2. Oh, no. Ray, you spend the force here, but you're still taking 1 damage. Ray down to 3 hull, I believe. Yes. See, the rest of those Jedi Knights do not have arc. We're going to be going back into planning that. I mean, I know Gil is going to keep pressing here. When you're in a team tournament, I will tell you, if you've never played in a team tournament, it's a very different dynamic than playing casual games or even playing on a single, in a singles tournament. I honestly think the most pressure is in a competitive team championship, because you know that every decision you make it doesn't just affect you, right? It affects your entire team. You wonder what did you leave on the table. That's what makes it exciting, though. So if that's something you're into, I would recommend joining a team event if you can in the future. I know some fam out there have been asking if can we see the dial of the Jedi Knight? Sure, we can do this. Give me 1 second and I will pull this up. Oops, accidental back arc spawning there. It happens to the best of us. Let's go ahead and get those cards going there. Boom. Shaka laka. and you wanted to see the Jedi Knight's dial. Let's go ahead and pull that up right now. There it is. Jedi Knight has tons of options, as you can see. Has a very flexible dial. Has basically everything but the one straight. Looking at this positioning right now, I mean, Rey has to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You go to the right. That's all you can do. You will have an option for a boost. So with that knowledge, I think Rey, oh, you know what? Rey might be able to one bank. Hold on. Let's go ahead. Let's switch to the Falcon dial. Right? The one bank is blue. Oh, the one bank is not blue. The two bank is. I wonder if that two bank fits. Because if you can get an action, I guess you know what? An action might not even matter because you're going to have to rotate. You're going to have to rotate anyway, and you can rotate when you have two stress. So it's time to be safe. Too hard. That's your only option. Too hard is your only option. Then if you know that's a possibility, the too hard from Rey and potentially a boost, you can end up spreading out shots with the red Jedi Knight for sure, though that red Jedi Knight is going to go over the cloud on the way out, so you got to watch out for that. The blue Jedi Knight obviously has a lane there. Pink doesn't really, but you might see a really hard commit from Steve if he wants to by doing a one hard onto the debris. I wouldn't recommend it. I would maybe prepare for the A-Wings by potentially slooping or K-turning if you have the space there with the other ones. Green just has a beeline. Let's take a look at that real quick. I mean, there is clear as day. You have no problem taking green and just going straight. You know that you're going to catch Rey in the arc, no doubt, no doubt. So, all full steam ahead on the green Jedi Knight for sure. Now, yes, the 3 hard is also an option for Rey, and it looks like she has enough space to do that as well. ZZ's going to be turning back in, and the A-Wing's got to get more aggressive. We'll get a 3 hard from Tally, which is in the red base, and probably just a ZZ stress, so it'll have to be a 2 hard. But expect some hard turns and get those A-Wings back into the fight. When we see Reys lose games, a lot of times it has to do with the wingman play. If the wingmen, the other ships that are around, if they have an engagement and then they're away, but the enemy has basically a straight line to Rey, and there's no way for those wingmen to end up helping for a couple turns, which is what we just saw. Something like this happens because now you have, a 1-on-5 situation versus a 3-on-5, right? And you're losing that initiative advantage that you brought into the game with those initiative 5s because the advantage is in the number of ships you have over the initiative that you have over your enemy when it comes to this numbers game. And here we go. 5K. 5K, 4K, everybody flipping, dipping over here. There we go. There's blue, 2 banking. Where are you going? Probably just gonna slap that focus down. I like it. I mean, you're guaranteed a shot. You don't want to overextend. And there we go. 3 straight from the green Jedi Knight. The debate on boosting blue may have been about the spacing for green Jedi Knight. Obviously, if you boosted them, you would have had a little bit more space for the green Jedi Knight. But playing it safe. Oh, I'm surprised. Okay, this I'm surprised by. I'm surprised by this barrel roll. Mostly because, I mean, I could see obviously what you're doing is you're making space for yellow and red. But it's costing you a force. You're already losing an action off of the red Jedi Knight, so not 100% in agreement there. I think I rather would have taken the tactical bump if the red Jedi Knight ends up kind of in that little pocket there. Though maybe the argument would be for if you can take out Rey in the first couple of shots, now you'll also have shots on ZZ. So I can definitely see that as well. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? And that red Jedi Knight did slide in there nicely. Yep, he did hit the cloud. So, not going to be able to get the focus. And nothing there. You are watching the XTC on GSP. Current score 50-40 with France leading by 10. And there is ZZ with the 2-turn. Going to be reaching here probably for a target lock. ZZ does have those cluster missiles. At this point, you need as many shots as you can get. So we'll pull up the cluster missile card here if you're not familiar with it. And that's the reason for that target lock, able to get a bonus attack after firing the first one, as long as you have people in your arc that meet that range requirement of range 1 to 2. And you can see that you got options on both blue and red there. Now deciding on where to place the target lock, because the target lock will determine who you shoot first. So deciding, I guess I get it. He's going with the target lock on blue. So he'll fire the first shot of the cluster missile there. There's the hard 2 by Rey. Didn't quite have the confidence to go 3. I'm pretty sure that 3 would have fit, but I get it. I get it, fam. I mean, I think you just rotate to have a shot. And that is exactly what happens. There's a rotation. Going to be able to shoot one of these Jedi Knights, maybe focus fire down one of them. And that's probably the reason why ZZ took the target lock there. Well, shooting with ZZ first, determine how much damage you can get, and maybe Rey can end up plinking an extra damage through one of those and taking it off the board. 3 dice coming in. Here's the roll. Wrong mod out there. Gonna be spending the target lock on those 2 focuses. And not getting anything for it. Only a single hit. We'll get a focus from ZZ's ability. No damage. There's the focus, and here comes the second shot of the cluster missiles. Bonus attack going into red. Red's already taken 1 shield. Only has a force available for defense. ZZ, one of the few ships who can modify that second shot, but not going to be able to. 2 hits. We'll see what the green dice say here. Some people see that 3 agility and call it tyranny. Oh, we got advanced optics. Advanced optics there from ZZ, making it 3 hits. And you are going to push through 2 damage onto the red Jedi Knight. I think he forgot he had optics. I mean, I know I forgot he had optics for a second. Okay, so with that, might be able to push through damage to take red Jedi Knight off the board. We'll end up seeing what we can get. I think you go for red. It's your best chance to actually take a ship off the board. He might also be debating shooting one of the ships with mods to reduce the amount of potential damage coming in from a single ship. But again, we don't know. 2 hits. And you will not be getting that Jedi Knight today. Spend the Force. Live to fight another day. And here's Tally. Oh, there's a little bit of feels bad here. If Tally is able to take out that red Jedi Knight, it would have taken 3 shots to do it. Debating on target selection. And yes, going to be continuing into the red Jedi Knight. Take the points you can get. And you're only going to be getting a single hit. This is at range 3. And plenty. Could have blocked the best work that Tally was available to do that turn. Now, I think these are the fireworks you've been waiting for. Ray's got what looks to be 5 shots coming in if Pink is in range, and Pink is just barely in range. Taking the bad shot first, potentially getting rid of one of the available force. Single hit. This is range 3 through the obstruction, so 3 dice. Not that time. And these other shots are going to be unobstructed. This will be 2 on 2. Has focus available. Team France looking to lock down Ray this turn. Tally checking for ability. Will be able to give Ray an additional agility. 2 crits though. Ooh. Ray's only got a single force. Will be able to block 1, but is guaranteed to take a crit. Resistance burning up, and it is a direct hit on Ray. She's down to 1 hull. Down to 1. I mean, at this point, after taking that shot, you take a look. You identify who doesn't have shots on ZZ. You fire there first. Okay, gonna go with blue. And you got a single hit after spending. And Ray will take that damage. It's going down. Honey, we're going down swinging. All right. We got a couple shots into ZZ, but now it is the A-Wings versus 5 Jedi Knights. Even though some of them are limping, that is still 5 ships to deal with. Blocking, firing arcs, all the things. Two hits out there. ZZ's got no mods. Got enough evades. Got 2. And I think that is all the shots, and we are going to be back to the planning phase. So after that engagement, it is 100 to 60. 100 to 60 after that. That is a tough cookie to chew there for the Resistance. Team Mexico is definitely on their back heel, and with only less than 5 minutes left to play, this likely means that Team France is going to be going up an additional win today. I believe it was reported earlier that France has a 2-1 lead currently in the series. If you know if that is true or not, it would be appreciated to know that information. But yeah, I mean, this could be a 3-1 advantage for France if that information I got earlier is correct. All right, so looks like Steve grabbing one of those maneuver cards, wants to double, triple check what all those A-Wings can do. You have 2 Jedi Knights that are sitting at a single hull. So what's best case scenario? Let's go through some best case scenario. Best case scenario, you can Tally and ZZ can both take out a Jedi Knight next turn and end up having 3 Jedi Knights versus 2 A-Wings. If those A-Wings don't take any damage after getting those other... How many points would that end up being? Let's go clickety-clack over here. Be an additional 40 points. That would tie it up. That would tie it up 100 to 100. With both those A-Wings going down. So that would be a way to get to a tie. If you get half, here's the thing though, the halves on the healthy ones are worth just a smidgen more. Oh wait, no, because it rounds up on the first one. It rounds up on the first one, so it's only 19. Oof. Oof. No, never mind. He would be behind. He's got to get 2.5. Or, excuse me, 1.5. So then you take out Jedi Knight and yellow? Or Jedi Knight. Green and yellow. Let's look at the positioning. Mike, I think if I'm Steve, you gotta be careful not to spread yourself out too much this turn. So one of the temptations is going to be to like try to block a bunch of possibilities for the A-Wings. But if you start spreading out your arcs too much, you're losing your advantage, right? You want to make sure that you have more shots on a single target than your opponent. And if you send, 3 ships out to block positions where their arcs are facing away, and even if one of the A-Wings get blocked, but they still have, multiple shots on a single Jedi Knight, that is to Gil's advantage. Now, one of the pieces still available in the arsenal is the cluster missile that is sitting on ZZ Talo. There are still, if I'm not mistaken, 2 charges. Yes, 2 charges left on that. We'll see if it ends up mattering, but there's still 2 charges out there. I guess, so now revising our best case scenario, now that I remembered about cluster missiles, that means you could maybe take out both of those single hull Jedi Knights and get another half on something else. It's a maybe. This turn does matter, though they have thoroughly burned the clock, so this is going to be the last turn. Guaranteed last turn. And the resistance dials are not set yet, so it is a mutual slowdown. Just to be aware there. So is there a chance for Team Mexico? There is, but everything's got to go right. If ZZ doesn't get a target lock, those chances go way down. And then you're going for bigger swing, because then you're trying to one-shot the green Jedi Knight. One-shot the green Jedi Knight and then kill one of the other ones. And then not take any damage. So we'll end up seeing what happens there. Time is expired officially on their clock, so they're going to be taking a little bit of time. I want to remind you that after this game, we're going to be hanging out here on the Twitch channel, doing a couple of different things than usual. We're going to be doing Hot or Not Scum Edition. Join me while we rank Scum ships, the ship chassis, lining them up S tier to D tier. We're going to do a little matrix work. Hang out with me while we get that recorded. And if we have a little bit of time, I want to talk about one other thing, but it depends on time. We'll see how things go. But there are no other XTC games going on here on GSP. They just did not line up with our schedule, unfortunately. We do like to bring you at least 2. We got plenty of games on our YouTube channel, including XTC games. So go ahead, if you're still craving some X-Wing, head on over to there. The green Jedi Knight, the one that's in threat of being killed, the one where you can get full points for it, getting into Tally's face. Though remember, those A-Wings, they got back arcs. You gotta watch out. Ooh, I like this. Sloop, keeping those arcs relevant. Yellow Jedi Knight, zoom in. Facing the board edge there. That is blocking a 2-bank to the right. Sacrificing himself for his brothers. We'll see if that ends up working out or not. And gonna take the barrel roll. That, well, you know what? If ZZ does 2-bank to the right, it's not detrimental because the cluster missile would require another ship in the arc. So not a bad move there, giving ZZ the space to 2-bank. Pink moves into the position facing the top of the board, and you can see Tally squeaks over the green Jedi Knight. I mean, the ZZ dial is really what matters here. Let's be honest. ZZ, what you got? 3 straight. No, there's no... I think that's the game. There's no way... No, wait, is there a way to get 2 first halves? Blue, no, that's a second half. Yellow is a second half. Pink is a first half. That gets you... No, that would leave you short. No. The closest you can get is 99. I'm pretty sure the closest you can get to is 99. The first half is 20 and the second half is 19. Taking some range 1 shots here. Spend for 3. You're going to push 2 damage through there. And that means that the red Jedi Knight is taken off the table. Now, of course, we don't know. We don't know how aware they are of the points. So they may ask for the score, but this could end up being a heartbreaker. Team Mexico likely losing by 1 or 2 points. Going into yellow. This looks like it's just going to be a single crit. Debating holding on to it for defense, it would seem. I believe ZZ has a focus. There's the roll. And that does not get through there. Wants to hold on to the focus for defense. And wouldn't have pushed through the damage anyway with 2 hits with that number of dice. Two focuses turned into 2 hits. Looking at tally. Spend the focus, avoid the damage. You're just trying to hold on to points for your team. MOV is the 3rd tiebreaker in XTC. One hit, one focus. Turned that to 2 hits. Nope, sorry, just 1. 4 defensive dice and gonna get out of that. And there you go. That is the ball game. Congratulations, Team France, for winning that 100-79. Thank you to ISO, Danko, Baffle, Trojan, Prophet, Shadow, Tycho, Spice, Raider, Lancer, Fallen, and Row 6, our Grand Admiral patrons, and all of our Gold Squadron patrons and community members. Thank you so much for your support. Gold Squadron out.